Alright, YouTube, it's time for another video. One of my favorite parking spots. Eating some grub and pondering my life to one subscriber. But it doesn't matter. Because this topic, I wanted to talk about people, are you tired of having the FOMO? And it's a simple question, but you have to ask. I mean, is this what people want? All of this social media, all of the data that we have on it suggests that people are fucking miserable, and yet we keep using it. I haven't been using any social media. I deleted my Facebook. I never had an Instagram. I had a Twitter account for way back in the day. I don't have it anymore. I haven't deleted that one because I haven't logged in. I don't know how to delete it, but I deleted my Facebook account. And, I'll be honest with you. I mean, I am out socializing a tad more, and I seem a little bit happier, I wish the places I'd go to socialize were busier, and there were more people there to talk and meet, and that were actually interested in, meeting new people, and not just meeting new people to add one more to their follower count, but actually to meet the person and, grow up a little bit with them, and keep them in contact on a more personal level, and, try to set them up with somebody if they're, a single person looking to find a girl, and maybe they have a friend who's a girl who's interested in me or something like that. And I think that people are they're lonely, and people say all the time how much they want to find somebody and they hate being alone, but you then talk to them and they talk about, oh, I hate people, and it's like, well, if you hate people so much, then, you can't complain when you're lonely. I mean, you have to eventually put yourself out there. But yeah, the question is simple. It's are you tired of internet FOMO? Are you tired of not wanting to be late to the viral tweet or the viral video or whatever drama is happening? It's like, are you tired of it yet? The late 90s, from what I remember, early 2000s, I mean, 9/11 was kind of the death sentence, and I was a little young, I was middle school, I'd been early middle school, and, well, late 90s I would have been in elementary, but whatever. But it's just like, I remember just seeing just more people out, doing stuff, and keep in mind the late 90s was when the first millennials, I'm a early 90s, so I'm a middle, slightly on the younger end, but the earliest millennials born in 81, 82, the late 90s was when that crop of kids kind of started being able to do adult stuff, like staying out later. Maybe they had a car if they came from a little bit more wealthier families, stuff like that. And I think that is an interesting time period. I do think that the late 90s is the last period so far in American history where there was optimism in the air. And I've talked to coworkers about this who are way older than me. They're in their 50s, and they had a similar mindset. So I don't think this is just the optimism of being a kid, or the freedoms, that you're first introduced to when you turn 17, 18, 19. I think this is just, generally speaking, everybody had a little bit more excitement in the air. 20-somethings, 30-somethings. I don't know. I don't know about somebody who was in their 60s, because, I mean, they very well could be passed away by now, or they'd be in their 90s or so today. But it just generally seemed like to me that there was more excitement in the air for just the future, the present. People remember, nostalgia was still a thing, but it was like a healthier amount of nostalgia. I mean, thinking about video games and stuff, I can't think of the first time I bought a video game that was a remake or a compilation port, I guess I did purchase Lunar. Speaking of Lunar, because they just released the remastered version like 2 days ago. Lunar 2, I purchased at a Software Etc. back in the early. That would have been probably. I think that game was released in 2000, but I don't think I bought it till about 2002. Because that would have been like, yeah, that sounds about right. Because I went to the mall with my brother a lot around then, and my older brother would like chaperone me. But yeah, that was, I mean, that game back in 02, I mean, that was a port, but, a remake or whatever of an old game on the Sega Saturn or whatever. And, but other than that, like, I can't think of, like, a video game that was, like, a remake or a remaster, Because, like, the new stuff was still being made and people were excited for it. In the mid-2000s, I did buy the Mega Man Anniversary Collection, which was, like, the first 7 games put on the GameCube, Xbox, or PS2, and I bought it on the GameCube. But other than that, like, that's like the first time I remember like buying like a compilation. I mean, it was like, yeah, there were sequels to games, of course, but there weren't like, it wasn't just like nowadays. It's like, oh, people are excited for this remake or a port of an old game or an HD remaster or whatever, 4K remaster. I mean, it's just like, there's a lot of cash-ins like that now, and that's just in video games, which is, a hobby that almost every dude nowadays has some level of interest in. And I think it's crazy how, people are this much into old stuff, and including even people who weren't really born. Like, I'll talk to people at like a gym or the few Zoomer-aged people that are in the workforce at my job, and they'll like talk about like excitement of like 90s culture or something. I'm like, dude, you were born in 2002 or 1 or something. It's like, I don't know how you could say that you're really like nostalgic about it, but they look at it, they study it, whether it's just through the internet or whatever, and they get a sense of, I think, excitement for it because they see more optimism in a way. It's like, yeah, it's not in 4K or HD, but you see it's a clearer picture in a more abstract sense. So yeah, I mean, I really think that just like, are you tired of the FOMO? Are you tired of needing to be the first one to talk about a tweet? Are you tired of the first one, needing to spend your Friday nights watching a Twitch streamer because there's a debate bro going on between two, well, a right-winger and a left-winger or something? And it's like, how much more of this shit do you fucking need? It's like, you already know what you believe in. And when you go out to socialize, don't make it all about like trying to turn everything into like debate bro shit. Actually go out and like meet new people and like try something new. And not be like turning everything into, I have to be correct about this, and this. And I see a lot of right wingers and left wingers operate that way. It's very just like unhinged. It's like, this is all that's on your mind, and it's like, it's okay to be politically informed, but goddamn, this is all that's on your mind. Do you have anything else you enjoy doing? But yeah, I think that, the late 90s was the last time I can think of, and 9/11 happened, then the smartphone era began about 6 years after 9/11, 7 years. The internet now revolves around about like 8 websites in the past, while, back in the 90s and early to mid 2000s, I mean, even post 9/11, it's like the top like 75 to 100 websites were all kind of important. Now it's like 15 websites matter and that's it. It's kind of like, okay, this isn't cool anymore. I don't know. I'm tired of people making their life revolve around the internet, and these videos are so poorly produced. I get that I'm putting some stuff out there, but on the net, but these things are so, I don't have like a boom Yeti mic and a The perfect whatever filters and um, recording everything in the most like elegant, you know, video quality. But it's like these are just quick rants that I do while I'm eating in my car uh, at work or right after work. But yeah, I mean, are you tired of the internet FOMO? God damn. I mean, I've been tired of it for 15 years, and I'm not even. I'm getting older. I'm getting older, but um, I've been. I'm almost been. I've pretty much been out of high school for like 15 years on the dot, and I see it's crazy how little change I've seen since like the early 2010s. You don't really see much of a change. It's been very stagnant, and the only difference is how bitter and angry that how much people are more bitter and angry. It's only going up and up. And I'm here to tell you, I think you need to delete the apps. It's not enough to say limit yourself. I think you need to straight up delete them and not be worried about your follower counts. You're not going to be an influencer. You're not going to be getting, 30 grand a month of passive income via your Patreon and your Hatreon and your Substack and your Dubstack and your Buy Me a Coffee and whatever and all these fucking stupid platforms that are just, these platforms take like a 20% cut or whatever and then they get their money and then you get some Patreon dollars that you think it's like, it's the most fucking stupid fucking shit. Just stop buying Twitch subs. Stop, if you want to use a YouTube account and subscribe to somebody, fine. I mean, it's like, okay, I watch about an hour of YouTube, maybe right before bed on the weekdays. On the weekends, I try to meet up with friends who are still doing stuff, although that number's dwindling fast. But this is ridiculous, man. It's like the amount of time consumed on these sites is so awful for the human brain. And I do think things are maybe slightly better in like European areas, countries. I could be wrong, but America's brains, I mean, the attention spans of people the brains are fried. I know grown-ass people at my coworkers who are in their late 40s, maybe early 50s even, and they're still like talking like there was one time I caught like this woman, she was like, she basically said, when I grow up, and I'm like, dude, you're like 46 years old. What do you mean when you grow up? It's like, and you have a kid. It's like, what the fuck? It's like if you haven't started your YouTube channel about your makeup, artistry or whatever, you need to start it now, or you should have started. I mean, it's like you're not gonna probably make it big. Just I hate to be that guy, but it's like find something that's a little bit more achievable. I don't have, and I mean, I don't talk like that to my coworkers. I'm not that rude, and I don't like to be that guy and like shits on people's dreams. But so I guess I should speak up more. But holy shit, man, this is ridiculous. I mean, 40-somethings talking like they're 14, and it's like, I mean, I'm in my early to mid 30s, and I mean, I'll admit, like sometimes I talk like that, but I try to catch myself, and I try not to do it and fucking around when I'm talking to people. Like, goddamn, maybe I'll like dream about when like the Mega Millions or something is worth a lot of money, and I don't buy any tickets because I don't give a fuck. But I'll like think about, oh, what would I do with that 975 million, things like that. But I don't dream about becoming an influencer in my mid 40s or something. That's insane. But anyway, just my thoughts, and I'm out.